Hello, welcome back. Survival Sunday with Johnny Tiger. Yeah, I know. I didn't think of a nice, uh, fancy name for this, but hey, it works, and that's the important part. So the date is August 21st, 2022, and today, of course, we're going to talk a little bit more about elbow. And yes, I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking. Throat is still feeling a little bit rough, but the worst is over. So today I want to talk about this. There's many names for this. When I learned my elbows, this was called the elbow slash. A lot of people call this the horizontal elbow or the side elbow. So essentially, what it is you lift up your elbow so your upper arm is about 90 degrees to your body, and then you spin into your target. Right? You spin into your target with your elbow. Like it's like throwing a hook, but with the arm retracted, so the elbow hit first. For expediency, and so we're all on the same page, I'm just going to call it the side elbow for the rest of this video, even though that is not what I myself am more used to. So the side elbow, why is it one of the more problematic elbows? And why is it one of the elbows that more commonly mentioned? You ask anyone who don't know martial arts or who's never fought before or who's never used their elbow in a fight before, you ask them, how do I hit someone with their elbow, with my elbow? They say, simple. Lift your elbow up and you spring into it like that. This is like one of the most common advices give to people uh, with regarding to how to throw an elbow. But this is one of the most problematic elbow strikes. Of all the elbow strikes, none of them is as quite as problematic as the side elbow. And this is why. Number one, the side elbow has is built on bad body mechanics. Why is it bad body mechanics? Because the moment you lift your arm up like this, the moment you lift your shoulder, you lift your elbow up to the side, your shoulder joint essentially separates from the rest of your frame. So your alignment is already bad. And then when you hammer this into your target hard enough, you end up hurting the heck out of yourself. Right? So if you don't believe me, go find something you can hit. Okay? Now, I would say do 100 straight vertical elbow, and then do 100 horizontal or 100 side elbow. Okay? I bet you the 100 side elbow will result in back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, all kind of pain the next day. And that is why, because your connection, your shoulder connection to your body is broken the moment you lift your arm up to the side like that. Okay, so this is not an elbow that can take high impact uh, or hit against unyielding object. Number two, insufficient reach. It looks very good when I'm just hitting a target like Bruce here, like that, right? But if we stick Bruce's arm out front, like he's actually fighting me, then this elbow suddenly become problematic, okay? Because there's no way that I'm going to sneak this in past his arm. And let's look at this. Even if I just want to go for his head, I have a hard time getting his head, even though he's not moving, even though he's standing still, letting me do it, right? And this is just someone about the same height as me. Imagine if you try to hit someone taller than you with this, it's not going to work. You're not going to get them in the head. You're not going to be able to reach with this elbow, right? Even reaching the body is very difficult if the arms are in the way and you don't know a proper way to get past that. So this elbow strikes in general already have really short reach, but most other elbows are built on inertia power base, which we talked about this before. What is inertia power? What is rotational power? Inertia power means you throw a move and it travel in a straight line until it meet resistance and then it go right through the resistance, right? So most other elbow, if you watch how they are powered, let's say the standard vertical down forward elbow that I love so much. Why is it a devastating elbow? Because it doesn't require my muscles to power it. I do my skip and lunge and boom, my elbow right into the target. So going from point A straight into the target. Okay? So even though if I stand still, the reach is limited. If I remember my body mechanic and add my little skip, I can travel a long way with this elbow, right? Same thing with the overhead elbow coming down from overhead. Even though regularly the reach is very short, if I remember my little skip, this can actually hit quite far away. Not really the side elbow, because the side elbow require you to power this from twisting your body, which means you won't be able to skip into that very well, right? If you skip, oy, yeah, very awkward. You can't skip and twist at the same time, not very well. So this requires a lot of different setup because it's totally different, powered differently from the other elbow. This requires you to twist your body. Okay, so the reach is a big problem with this particular elbow, even more so than any other elbow strike. Number three, the gain does not equal the power output. What do I mean by that? Most other elbows, why do people throw elbows? Because elbows are like one of the most lethal, most devastating moves. So even though sometimes you have to output a lot of power, output a lot of energy into an elbow, if you hit, that's it. One elbow, finish the fight, right? The side elbow, however, you got to rotate your body like throwing a big vicious hook. But the range is short and your posture is bad, like I said, body mechanic is bad. So when you hit something really solid, like a really solid human body, sometimes you may find to your surprise that all you end up doing is pissing the person off. Especially if you don't hit them right on with your elbow, if you hit them with your forearm, which is happens a lot when people do elbow strike. It's hard to judge that distance or the point of your elbow actually hit. A lot of times it is your forearm that's hitting. And when you swing like this with your forearm, it's not going to have sufficient impact to do much to the person unless the person is weaker than you or smaller than you to begin with. Okay? So the power output does not equal the gain for this particular elbow. Last but not least, this is perhaps the one elbow that's going to expose you to the biggest risk. So the risk factor is too high for the side elbow. Why? The moment I lift my elbow up, I expose my whole side to the opponent, right? So most other elbow, especially the uh, vertical variety, I do not expose myself until I'm actually hitting, right? My elbow is down here, guarding my side, until I skip in, okay? My hand is blocking my face, my elbow is blocking my rib cage. I'm very shielded, very well shielded, right? And let's say even if the dropping down overhead elbow, up and down like this, yes, I still expose my side and my back, but at least in this case, the reward is massive. If I land with this on the face, the fight is over. No question about it. If I'm going to take a hit to the rib, a hit to the kidney to get this into the face, I'll take that. I'll take that trade. Okay? But the side elbow, on the other hand, a lot of times the moment you lift this up, you get hit in the side, and you are not going to be able to spin into that when the person hits you because you haven't started your spin yet. Your arm just come up and they hit you in the side, and oh, your arm come back down again. You just took a hit for free. Okay. Also, because this is such a uh, torquing, twisting move. Like I say, it's a rotational move, so that it's easy to overspin. Right? You go to, whoops, yeah, you missed, right? Or I missed. So now my profile or my back is to the to the opponent. They can hit me, kick me, grab my neck from behind, all kind of stuff. Okay, so there's a big chance of overreaching, overshooting with this side elbow. Like I said, this goes back to number three. The uh, the gain is not worth the energy output. And in number four, the gain is not worth the risk factor in this elbow. So does that mean that this elbow just pure suck? Not really. But you have to twist your thinking around so you can see this elbow for what it is. Once you treat it for what it is, then you can utilize it to its advantage. You see, most of us in punching, we know the jab is a weak punch. We know the cross is a hard punch. And we know the hook. For a lot of people, the hook is the ultimate big punch. Okay? So the jab is to set up your opponent, to annoy them, to wear them down. And the cross is when you can get a nice straight shot. And the hook is a big knockout, big damaging one, right? The most strikers think like that. Unfortunately, this is also where the elbow gets messed up because most of them think, okay, so the elbow is the same. My forward elbow should be like my jab, and then my side elbow should be the big power shot, like my hook. That is totally opposite. When you throw elbow, your forward vertical, your downward elbow, these are your power shots. These are equivalent of your cross and hook. These side elbow are really your jab. Okay, this side elbow, even though they come from the side, they look like hooks, but they are supposed to be your jab. So if you learn that, if you understand that, and you realize, okay, these are not supposed to be knockout elbows. These are not supposed to be big power shots. These are supposed to be quick slashing. This is why we call them elbow slash when I learned them. Because this is supposed to be slashing, slashing elbow. Okay? Really quick way to set your opponent up for something else. Then you start to see where they can be useful. They're not supposed to be big and powerful. They're not supposed to have big impact. They're just supposed to be quick and move them in the direction that you want them to go. Right? In another word, if I'm going to utilize my side elbow and the arm is in the way, as we already demonstrated, the side elbow it's not going to reach the body if the hands in the way. I'm not going to be able to even reach the head from here. Okay? So with the side elbow, that's okay. With the side elbow, I'm just going to, when I'm fighting, I'm going to use my side elbow rather than for his head or his body. I use my side elbow for his forearm, for his wrist, for his fist. Okay? Whenever he tries to punch, I am going to just side elbow into that. Right? Whenever he tries to grab, I'm just going to side elbow into that, chopping, slashing into that with my quick little side elbow to get him to do something else so I can set him up for the big vertical elbow right on the center. This is one of the best uses of the side elbow. But today I'm going to, because I missed yesterday, so I'm going to give you guys a little bonus, give you a Johnny Tiger special. One of the techniques that I personally use very, very often, and it worked like a charm. Combining elbow strike basic with Wing Chun. Okay, so at that time, when we see people do Wing Chun, they punch, 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 and you're blocking with your hand, blocking, blocking, and then in Wing Chun, they teach you to go straight in, straight down the center, bumping their arm out of the side, and then you go pa 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 in the face, right? Okay, so that's where we're going to change things. We're going to parry, parry, parry. They're punch, they're punching, they're punching. I'm parrying, I'm parrying. The moment I'm ready, I'm going to glide in to the side. I'm going to glide in diagonally, keeping my blocking hand crossed over my body to lead their hand over my shoulder. Okay, let them punch over my shoulder like this. Why am I doing this? You guys can already see this. While I'm gliding in, I'm winding up my side elbow, boom, right into the heart. Okay, this is a series of side elbow move. We call the body chopper. Why? Because we chop for the body. I'm treating my side elbow like a little machete. Okay? Anytime I can glide under the arm, I'm chopping for the body. Anytime I'm gliding down, I'm chopping for the leg. Anytime I'm gliding in, I'm chopping for the shoulder joints. Okay? I'm going to keep my working my diagonal entry, entering under the arm, entering on the outside. So my elbow can glide under that arm and right into the chest, heart, stomach area. And I hope you guys have not experienced it, but if you haven't, getting hit with any kind of elbow in the chest, stomach area, especially the bony part, like over the rib cage, over the heart, hurt a lot. Okay, so that again, this plays into the strength of these side elbow because they are not big power shot. Okay, I don't. They're not going to be good for really wide range, boom, head knockout kind of move. So I need to get in nice and close so I can use my little side elbow, boom, 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 into the body like that. You can tell that I'm feeling better because I'm getting a little bit more rambunctious on video. Anyway, uh, hopefully this gives you guys a little insight into why the side elbow, this horizontal elbow, this elbow slash is so often misrepresented and so hard to utilize in a fight. Thank you for checking out today's Survival Sunday. I'll be back again later for a little bit of a more peaceful pastime with Soul Search Sunday. For now, have a good rest of the day.